Okay, everybody, welcome back
Hello.
to the next match of the day here. The second match of the day, we're going to be having the University of Saskatchewan taking on the University of Toronto. So, for those of us who were here previously, we just watched USask take the series 3-0 against Concordia. So they'll now be able to take on the University of Toronto here. I hope you guys are all excited for a fantastic match here coming up.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing two powerhouses, to be frank, from the CCL season squaring off here. Two close teams in terms of skill.
Yeah.
One might say the match that we didn't get to see before. So I'm super excited. Semifinals. It's going to be great.
Okay, and if we could have a first look at our team here from the University of Toronto. Yeah, here we have Solus and Turkboy holding up the DPS line. We have Bearfu on the front line, and we have OWell and Computero on the side of the
some
support.
new faces
Yes.
for Toronto here.
So yes, we have Turkboy, who has joined the varsity players from Toronto's junior varsity team, and we have OWell, a new addition to the U of T collegiate community, and we have we'll have our first look at him in this University of Toronto setting. We're expecting to see a lot of dive here from this team. You know, we got a strong Lucio player now. The University of Toronto also, you know, we have Bearfu playing characters like Winston to a very high level. We have Hazard as well, and we have Solus on Genji playing OWCS level DPS line there when he plays in OWCS in Japan. And if we have a look at the side of the University of Saskatchewan, which we had a fantastic look at in the previous match, we do see some key changes here. So we have Techie T coming off the bench, normally a support player playing the tank role. And then we have She Was My Rock sliding over to the support role. And then we have Jose now going back to the bench in the meantime for this map.
Yeah, I mean, some interesting swaps to see here. I don't know what they're going to play. I felt like She Was My Rock was doing a good job against Concordia. And I'm curious to see what like the reasoning was, just shaking it up before the semis, you know, like maybe the different strategy that they've been saving that they want to show, you know, on stream.
Yep.
So
okay,
to be good.
And if we take a look at what the University of Toronto as the higher seed chose as their map here, we are going to go once again back to Lijiang Tower. I think this is just a community favorite, as Jester said previously. You know, they feel like they're comfortable here. They've scrimmed it a lot, and I think it enables that sort of dive play style that the University of Toronto is so comfortable with, among other things as well. If they decide to change it up as well.
Yeah, I mean, Lijiang, like we're saying, classic. Everybody loves it. And I do think we will see different stylistic choices. Because I do know that I don't think Toronto will struggle as much with like Afara compared to Concordia. So I think we're going to see some different comps here, some slight variations. And yeah, we actually do have knowledge on the bans.
Yes, let's quickly go through the bans here. And we have, I believe, the University of Toronto banning out the Farah. And then we have the banning out the Ramatra on the side of the University of Saskatchewan. I think just getting the Farah out the way makes sense given what we saw on the previous broadcast. And yes, just removing the Ramatra, taking away that Brawl tank, maybe there, just that frontline sustain on the side of University of Saskatchewan. And I believe our teams are raring and ready to go. So if we could, we're going to slowly make our way into the lobby here.
Yeah, I mean, let's get it. I mean, if you're McMahon, you feel pretty good. Other team banned out one of the characters you played on stream. So
that's one of the biggest ego boosts you can get. You know, you get selected as the alpha threat, so to speak, and then we can go onto this night market here, and as we take our first look eventually at what both of these teams will be playing.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what Sass is gonna play now that Lucio's live and Farah's gone. Oh, the Reapers are there. It is. That's the Techie T bread and butter. Reapers are. You know, that's what Sask. That's what I've seen Sask bust out all the time with Techie T. And she was my rock on the Lucio. Okay. Oh, Vendetta. Oh,
I see.
We're tasting different things here. Yeah,
okay.
We're trying things out.
We see on the side of the University of Toronto, they are cycling through a couple of different team comps, but they are going to settle down on the Orisa here. Yes, they are going to stick with a sort of ground attack approach on both sides. We'll see Solus jumping onto the flex DPS there on the Tracer, taking an off angle, and we see the first fight going underway as the University of Toronto rotates into the small room here, as they seek a little bit of cover. As USAS takes the first control of the point and of the courtyard, and now it's up to University of Toronto to take their space and try to push the University of Saskatchewan off this point here, as USAS starts to get the first progress on capping the point here.
Yeah, I mean, very solid point presence from Sask here, and I honestly think it's better for them because you have to walk into bubbled Vendetta.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's looking very rough here for Toronto, trying to find an angle. Like, you're walking to a full charge Zara at this point now, so you have to try and blow her up when she's low on bubs.
Yeah,
and they forced them out. Oh, McMahon surely kind of bit.
McMahon does get the bubble there. We do see Barefoot dropping a little low, but we do see Computer O is very close to the Kitsune rush here. Let's see if they can play it slow, try to survive, but OWL does go down very early. Barefoot finds 2 with the ultimate, and it looks like, despite losing the Lucio, they do manage to find manage to get the flip here, 43% on the side of USASK, and only 1 ultimate used to win that team fight on the side of University of Toronto, despite having support ultimates to go.
I mean, yeah, if you're University of Toronto, you're really happy with that. Crazy chain of events, you know. You think after losing Lucio, you know, might be pretty bad for a fight, might be in a little bit of trouble. But no, some big plays here from Barefoot.
Does drop very low here, but we do use the Kitsune rush to try and keep everyone alive. Turkboy does drop, and there is an environmental kill. Computer does find the exit kill, but that is a quick flip on the side of USAS, just 29%, despite using a couple of ultimates there. And Barefoot,
the insta swap,
and Solus both swap, and they are now going to match the Reaper, the Zarya Reaper.
Yeah, I mean, the Lucio Boob, she was my rock, two environmentals and counting so far in this map. I like the Reaper swaps from both teams. I think Zar Reaper is in this current patch better than Vendetta Zar. So, yeah.
We do see the Grav coming online first for the side of Techie T, but he does not even need it. We will see that USAS does manage to fend him off. USAS does manage to fend off. They do engage with the beat there, and now it's looking like a final fight territory here for the side of University of Toronto. We're gonna see how they choose to try to activate the overtime here. Turkboy does swap over to the Emre. Let's see if we manage to get a desperation touch. The TP onto the point. A TP onto the point by Solus. But
it's not.
There are a couple people down here. OL does drop the beats, but it's not. Does not manage to work. Solus does manage to get a kill here, but I don't think that's going to be enough, as the University of Toronto members do go down, and USAS takes away the first point, and it is now 1-0 for the University of Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're walking into a Grav through that choke, your tail gets caught, only Reaper gets the touch. It was like, Toronto did what they could from that position, but I think if you like, once it gets there, you're just kind of cooked for that point. So now, here is where the game starts, okay? 0-0, both team comps are equal. The only difference is how they play it. So, I'm excited. Let's get it.
I think we do, yeah. I do think that, especially with the grab disadvantage after for a late Zarya swap that did come back to bite the University of Toronto there at the very end.
Yeah.
But we'll see how they choose to move forward here, as the University of Toronto will choose to match this. Never mind, they are playing into a Junkrat.
Goodness.
Never mind. Discount what I said. They're going to have a Junkrat here on this first stage fight. as gives a little bit of charge there to Bearfu on the Zarya. And now, yes, we see both teams on the coast trying to win control. Solus manages to not get moved off the map there.
I understand, like, kind of the reasoning. Junkrat's been historically okay on this point, but I don't know if it's... Yeah, big first pick for Turkboy. I think you'd rather Reaper to clear, like, anything here with Bubble in the Bubble mirror.
Oh, Cher manages to hit back here, but I do think the University of Toronto is going to find the first capture here. Computer finds the enemy, finds Bochi, the enemy Kiriko here, and now we have the Junkrat on the side of the coast, and now looks like they're going to go for a quick reset, and USAS is going to rethink their approach here as they wait for Mickman to respawn.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really loving that they're staying on this Junkrat with what's been going on here. I mean, it's so much. I feel like you just can't do as much with the junk pick here.
I think we see that Bearfu's getting his grab a little bit quicker than Techie T here. Most of the other ultimates coming online fairly at the similar times, though OWL is a little bit ahead in terms of the beats. The Bochi does drop the Kitsune Rush. Computer O is there to follow. The grab
huge grab.
The grab is there, and despite Cher's attempts at heroics, looks like they're likely going to win this first team fight here with the grab advantage.
Yeah, I mean,
does he escape with his life? The Bochi, great job at escaping with his life there. But now Techie T here with the grab advantage and the Riptire. Let's see how Mickman chooses to engage with this.
Like, he needs one. At least, perfect.
Goes down. Perfect. And Bearfu is now backing out here.
Solus Blossom.
Solus uses the Blossom into the grab. That's unfortunate. You maybe will have wished you wanted that back, but now USAS gets their first percentage onto this control center point. And they're looking at a support ultimate advantage here with the beats ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, Sask only win con for this fight is beat, and I don't know if beat is enough, as we've seen, for Grav plus DPS ult. So...
Checkpoint does go down early, which means
huge.
That... looks like they're going to have to wait it out just a second here.
Yeah, it's another dry fight where they can build up the rest of their ults.
Computer dies late. The support's die late. That's really good for USAS. Gives them just that extra time to get the get things online. Resets Bearfu's Zarya charge there, and now USAS has both support ultimates ready and ready to go. And yeah, a very key pick there from the side of Cher, just giving his team an opportunity to charge ultimates and come back. Solus now swaps over to the Echo here.
They now have Beat and Emery, or they now have Kitsune and Emery on top of the Beat they originally had, and they're getting close to Junk Tire. This is a completely different game. Toronto is walking through this tiny choke into all these ults plus Junk. They've turned it around. Solus, Echo trying to figure something out here. The Emery ult doesn't get anything. The
Computer does have the ultimate here, and they have managed to successfully wait out the Bochi's ult. And the Bochi goes down, and there it is. There is the Grav and the Kitsune Rush, but Milkman does manage to get a pick here, and Cher is on this stage high ground, trying to look for to convert something. Milkman does manage. Both the DPS do manage to find their picks, but does Milkman survive another day? No, he does not. He is sent back to the spawn room, and now U of T is 90% done with this point, and we'll see how they choose to retouch this. Techie T is coming back with the grab in hand very, very soon. OWL drops the beat to try and win the fight quickly. And we'll see if Techie T manages to drop the ult before he dies. He manages to find one here and finds Computer O, but he will give his life for it. The Tracer is now on point just for an overtime touch, but now it looks like Lijiang Tower is tied one apiece.
Wow, I mean, if you asked me to guess which team is winning that point at, that point in time, I didn't think that there was any hope for that turnaround there, but they got it was heavily skewed UFT, then it was heavily skewed USAS. How they walked through this choke, and they managed to do it.
I think they showed good. I think they essentially. I think crucially, they showed good patience. They know that the Kiriko ultimate is going to be earlier on the side of USAS than UFC. Computer was still charging his ultimate, so they just wait. They use it. They just wait behind the choke. They don't need to go. There's no reason to go yet. They wait for Computero's own ultimates to come back, and then there's the grab and Kitsune, and then it's just rest. So very good patience there. Let's see who takes this final map here on Gardens.
Yeah, the Tracer versus the Reaper in the mirror. I mean, I think both are good here. Tracer, you can do a little more devious things by yourself. Oh, sure finds it well.
Key first pick. Both Lucios are down, and it looks like the Bochi does manages to is forced to use his Kiriko E early, and now it looks like there's just fish in a barrel or USASK in a hut, as they managed to get the first pick here.
Yeah, that was so weird, just seeing both the Lucios get traded at the start, and then just messy team fight, which Toronto managed to capitalize on.
The messy team fight, which ended up with USAS surrounded inside the room rather than being safe in the room. And it looks like a bit of a fight on the bridge here, as both the Zarias are looking to get a little bit of charge early on here. We see that Computero is both of these support ultimates are coming online. McMahon does manage to get the execution quickly, but he does drop very low. But he manages to escape to his team with relative ease, and looks like we're going to see a bit of a stall maybe here from the Tracer, but Techie does drop. He does die for with the due to the pulse bomb from the side of Solus. But
oh my goodness, they're gonna turn it.
They are really going for this. Barefoot is he going to invest the ultimate here? Try and keep the fight alive.
It's so scrappy. The grab.
The ultimate. Okay, it's traded. The side of UFC they're trying to keep this scrappy fight alive, trying to just win a little bit more percentage here. OWL is going to probably drop very, very soon.
And there he is.
The Emery ultimate is invested. Does not manage to get the pick. Solus is still here, but I do think that is going to be enough for USAS to finally get some percentage on the points. But well done there from the side of UT, despite knowing that it was going to be a scrappy fight. They managed to extend the team fight and win a little bit more percentage, and now they're looking at a beat engage here, but they're looking at a USAS lineup with a lot of ultimates.
Yeah, I mean, a long fight's a good fight if you control the point. And honestly, it looked like they were going to lose, and then the pulse kill confirmed on the Czar, and it was up in the air, and Toronto's benefited. But then they used a bit too many ults, in my opinion. I think the Emery might have been a bit... the grab!
Yeah. They managed to survive the grab engagement. They used OWL's beat to survive that, and they managed to get the picks off there very well. Despite the ultimate disadvantage, they managed to win it out, and now it looks like Computero will have his ultimate potentially ready for the next fight here.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's got to touch here, and it's probably going to be McMahon, not too hard. They got to be engaged, right? Like, surely.
Yes, they have to go fast.
There it is.
Try to find something. Yeah, let's see if Solus manages to get a pick here. He tries to go in here. But he does have the pulse bomb. Let's see who he chooses. He elects to use it on. They give over point control to the University of Saskatchewan.
Kitsune.
The Bochi drops the Kitsune onto the point here, and now the University of Toronto is just backing out. They're going to wait for an opportunity. They're going to wait for Barefoot to get his ultimate. They're going to wait for Turkboy to get his ultimate, and they're going to re-engage soon. So
I don't think Sask has an answer to that here. It's going to be really hard for them to
McMahon with a crucial pulse bomb could be the answer, but yes, I think that they're looking at some very strong ultimates on the side of UFT. UFT drops the grab onto the Bochi. She was my rock, just trade out the Lucio, but kills the tank there. And looks like they're probably going to make their way onto the point here. Turkboy with a final second exit kill with the ultimate. And now it's up to She Was My Rock to get an overtime touch here. And we see Techie dropping over to the D.Va to try and stall out this point. Solus still holding onto the pulse bomb. And there's a good touch here, but the D.Va does go down. OWL has the sound barrier in case of a disaster, but it looks like the University of Toronto is going to just scrape by and take the first point here on Lijiang Tower.
Wow, what a back and forth map. Kind of crazy. After the first point, you would think that, you know, Toronto is looking a little weak. Second point comes around, you question the SAS swap, then you're like, oh wait, the SAS swap, when it starts working, and then it's just back and forth.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately for Sask, I dare say that long team fight where they thought that they had it, and then both teams invested more and more, I think it really bit them in the butt there, because if you can't win clean decisively and the other team gets to drag it out on Garden, you're just cooked. Because even though Toronto lost the team fight, they basically won one, because they got like 30% while losing.
They played that fight for so long. The heads up play, the confidence in each other and themselves to just be like, I'm gonna drop my ultimate here. I think I'm gonna extend this fight, maybe win the fight. Good initiative from the side of Toronto there, just to give themselves a little bit of extra point capture percentage. And now they have gone they've gone up one in the series, and we see what USask chooses to do to respond. Yeah,
the pulse onto Techie T from Solus might have made the map there. Killing the Tsar, I mean, the pulse didn't kill the Tsar, but it basically did, because the Tsar stood still, and then Solus just shot Techie T, and the burst just was enough, which opened up the possibility of, wait, we could win this fight, and then everything went downhill for Sasker there, even though they ended up winning it out.
Yeah, all right, so we have the next point, the next map is going to be chosen by the University of Saskatchewan. They'll have three choices. They'll have to pick from Circuit Royale, Dorado, and Route 66. In terms of what kind of team comps they could play here, I think that given that they're trying out this Zarya stuff, I'm thinking they probably avoid something like, they're probably going to avoid some sort of those like super long range maps, or it looks like they have made their pick here. They are picking Dorado. Okay, it looks like they're just going to take I think this probably looks like a dive duel, actually.
Yeah, I mean, on Dorado, it's hard to get away with anything else. I think maybe they want an Alari as well, really solid on this map, but they're kind of going into Toronto's wheelhouse. No, I mean, I figure they're going to whip out the Diva, probably. Maybe they'll ban Winston, maybe they won't. But Barefu, as we've been saying, huge Winston guy, has Winston montages. You can look it up, you can see, loves the character. And we're giving him the opportunity, if it's not banned, to play it. So I'm eager to see what comes up here.
I would be shocked if they let him play Winston here. Just given like the sort of time frame you have to plan, I think it just makes sense. Okay, let's go Dorado, and if they're gonna play Dorado, this dive map, and are they really gonna let Barefu run wild on the Winston? I mean, I can't say. Yep.
Maybe they'll protect, like they'll ban Winston to protect Diva, so like just in case, instead of like a different ban.
They have, we are able to see things like Hazard come out. Hazard has been particularly strong here. We do have some swaps coming in, some small roster changes. We have She Was My Rock back onto the tank role, so that was a one and done. Looks like it was a one and done there for the Zarya Reaper strategy.
Yep.
Jose does come back in for Techie T, and USask bans the Lucio here.
Yeah, I mean, okay. It's so interesting now, because before, like, teams playing Toronto wouldn't like bother. Maybe Toronto banned Lucio, right? But now the new pickup for this tournament,
I
see Sask banning Lucio.
I believe they may have been. Did USask do this? What did USask ban on Route 66?
On the
first map. Because
on the first map they banned Lucio. They banned Lucio and Lijiang and played Kiri Alari. So they might be trying to do that on Dorado this time around instead.
Okay. I was maybe going to say that they're once again going to flash the Cat Bastion here, but maybe Toronto does read the room a little bit and bans out the Bastion,
Yeah.
which is, I think, fair game. I think that was a good plan going in for USask. The Cat Bastion absolutely could be very spooky on this map, but the University of Toronto shuts that down, pushes that to a later, a problem for another time. Barefoot does seem to be flashing the Winston.
And there it is. We do see the Winston. We do see the Alari Kiri. USask big fans of this. It showed a lot of success against Concordia, but will it show as much success into an experienced dive composition?
Yeah. I think that we're just letting Barefoot get onto his super comfort pick here on Dorado on a map that is so strong for Winston. Oh, I see. Maybe they are trusting that they can take on Barefoot on the Winston. Fair enough. Let's see how they choose to do it. We have Barefoot set up on the first high ground here. And now the gates unlock and Shios Marok takes the first. Ooh. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of damage on Shios Marok, but he does manages to survive just about. Barefoot does will back up to his team, and now USask does try to get a little bit of point progress here onto the cart.
Yeah,
Solus does go down.
Find Solus.
Yep, Solus was caught out just a little bit there. They do manage just to get this cart rolling here, and now the University of Toronto is going to have to back out just a little bit to stall out the cart. Solus is going to come back fairly quickly though as a tracer, and now we'll see how we'll see how Barefoot and UFT chooses to jump back into this.
So yeah, there we go. Barefoot manages to go in first. His cooldowns are in a shorter cycle. Oh my goodness, Rock has to back. This is not good for USask here in the 5v5.
Yep, Solus is getting very, very close to the pulse bomb there, but there is a trade on the side of the Winstons. Let's see, and let's see if the University of Toronto can stabilize here. It looks like they will. USask is going to just give a little bit of space here. Just wait for reinforcements to come back. There's going to be just you're going to come back a tad bit faster than Barefoot, and yeah, they're waiting for a full 5-on-5 team fight here. Oh well, is going to get isolated there and give his life for it, and it looks like this is going to be first a fairly quick point capture on the side of USask. Although there are a couple picks going the way of University of Toronto, but it is not enough. USask does get point capture, and they have 4 minutes remaining to try to finish out second point.
Yeah, honestly, well played by Sask. Both teams are like unstable once the Winstons died, and fortunately for Sask, theirs died first. So on top of like, I think respawn being a little bit closer for the attackers, if you can jump over the buildings.
Yeah.
They have that added advantage of faster respawn, and they managed to get superior positioning and then collapse on the backline first, which is what you want in a dive mirror.
Yeah, here we have McMahon just slowly pushing out this point here. Bochi using the Illari ultimate, but Turkboy in the sky, also in the sky, manages to take 2, and that's going to put a hold here onto this engagement here. But She Was My Rock invests the Primal Rage to take out in the backline, but lovely movement there from the side of Turkboy there. That was very impressive. No.
I mean, good movement, good kills.
I think you'd probably wish you had that back if you are She Was My Rock. But nonetheless, the next fight is underway. Barefoot now with the Primal Rage ready to go. He elects to use it here. Survive, takes out Jose, but McMahon does win the Tracer duel there and trades it right back. Barefoot is going to back out with his life, just about. And the cart is rolling here for the side of USask, but they're going to have to answer to Computer's Kitsune Rush, which has been used. Barefoot is now going to try to zap the back line, push them back, and put a stop to the cart progress.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of space was made for Sask with their investment.
Well, goes down to OL does get picked out once again here, and looks like the fight wasn't over. She Was My Rock manages to take out the other piece of the back line, and Bearfu is probably going to drop fairly soon, or have to back out. And looks like this is going to be a capture for the side of USask onto the second point here. Now they have just under 4 minutes to finish out the map. And looks like they're going to find a couple more exit kills here. OL is probably going to go down once again. Unfortunate stagger. And now USask is going to be able to take a little bit of a forward position here. Oh.
Silver bursted, running for his life, and this is where the system ultimate. Oh, here's one Turk Boy. This is it, right here. The guy on the best ult and the cap.
And Computer does get stuck there. Okay, the point is still rolling. She Was My Rock has the ultimate ready to go. Jose is close to the ult. Both of the USask ultimates are almost ready to go. Let's see if Turk Boy can turn it around with his ultimate here. He's gonna get batted into a corner here. I don't think he can survive. Bearfu dies 98% to the 98% to the Primal Rage, and USask finishes the map with 2 minutes and 37 seconds. Pretty well executed offense there from the side of Saskatchewan, taking Bearfu head-to-head with the Winston and coming out seemingly on top. Let's see if the University of Toronto can answer back.
Yeah, I mean, the snowball, you saw the vision of the snowball after, like, the late death from Toronto. Like, it started with Bearfu, like, 8 seconds added on top, and then the other two died another 8 seconds. And then Fast managed to find a pick. Oh, my. And managed to find a pick. And Pilla kept on rolling. You got more kills, like on Penny Armor, and then in the end, it's like you're watching it too.
Yeah. All right. We'll give Jester a moment to take care of his microphone here. But yes, as we've been saying, looks like UT is going to have to go back to the drawing board just a little bit here. They are going to, I think, trust their Winston comp. They're putting Computer, it looks like, onto the Ana. We saw a small swap over, but not quite enough time to stabilize on the Ana. We'll see if it works better on this offense here. Maybe give on this bottom half here on this second round. Maybe we can on this first round here. We can give Computer an entire side on Ana. We'll see how that will look. Bearfu does drop dangerously low, but he does manages to survive with his life there. And now they get the point rolling here on this initial engagement. She Was My Rock stays firmly planted on the high ground there to try and prevent the push. Drops down and just going for a little bit of extra damage, a little bit of ult charge. Bearfu does manage to jump onto the high ground here, tries to chase off the Tracer. McMahon does get his recall used, but Bearfu is caught in a little bit of a pickle, but he manages to jump away with his life and manage to get healed back up. We have Computer 50% the way to his ultimate here, and She Was My Rock does drop dangerously low and goes down. Solus does manage to find the melee, but gives his life for it. But Bearfu does trade back the Tracer, and now the cart is going to get rolling here on the side of U of T, and the kills just don't stop. Bearfu is going to keep jumping in, trying to look for more and more exit kills. The zap lands and finds its target. And now it looks like UT is on pace to match a fairly fast offense. Maybe they can continue to compete with USask's generally generous time back, as Bearfu is now on this high ground here, contesting this high ground. Computer O is close to the nano boost. We're likely going to see a nano Winston engagement, or perhaps a nano onto TDPS if they manage to find a target. Bearfu does go down early. OL does manage to trade it back with a pick on the Tracer there, but it looks like they're
Nano
going to
on a
have to.
Solus.
They do manage to use, and yes, they do invest the Nano on Solus there, and She Was My Rock is now staying firmly planted on here on the high ground as they wait for reinforcements to come back. She Was My Rock is dropping quite low, and it looks like, yeah, Solus manages to find the pick there, but Bearfu is now backing just a little bit off with the Primal Rage. She Was My Rock has the Primal Rage available, so although UFC does manage to get the cart rolling just a little bit here, USAS now is poised for a re-engagement with 4 ultimates ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, that teamfight wasn't that good for Toronto. You used 2 ults for Lari, and you still kind of lost the fight. Very messy. And now we're seeing Kitsune engage here on the side of Sask.
Yep. USAS uses the Kitsune Rush, finds its fruits in getting the Toronto backline. So it looks like the USAS is finally going to be able to completely stabilize and hold off the Toronto offense here, as Bearfu is going to jump out with his life and wait for Solus to come back with a pulse bomb ready to go. Both of the DPSs have their ultimates, but there is a slight ultimate advantage on the side of She Was My Rock having the ult ready. Turkboy does drop the ultimate here, looking for a couple kills here, but Cher hits first. Oh, but Turkboy with the mid-air hit onto Cher. Now it is even, but Bearfu is down. There is a frontline advantage here for the side of University of Saskatchewan.
Yeah,
She Was My Rock
the
chooses to go forward with the Primal Rage here, does get slept, and now looks like UT is going to re-engage here after a small regroup, and the Nano does come out onto Bearfu.
Yeah, trying to see if he can farm up Primal here in the backline of Sask. Gets poked out. It's still a good Nano, just not the best you'd be hoping for. Oh, huge Alari ult in the backline, followed up by the dive of She Was My Rock. Nickman finding 2! Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's down goes 3 on the side of University of Toronto, and now they have 2 minutes left on this engagement here. Computer O does shift onto the Alari here, choosing to match. There is a complete mirror match here on our hands between UT and USASC. We see that both of these teams have the Kitsune rushes ready. Bearfu does have the Primal Rage. Let's see if he can find something with it. But we are probably going to see a Kitsune on Kitsune team fight here. Here does drop a little dangerously low, but manages to survive.
Oh,
Bearfu jumps in. He does get stuck, but he's going to survive with the Primal. Let's see if he finds any picks with it.
Looking at the
Tracer maybe dropping low, but manages to survive.
Yeah,
Bearfu
not the
does
easiest
jump-
character to Primal, that one.
Yeah, Bearfu does jump onto the high ground here. Turkboy with the Emery ultimate here. He does drop quite low, but it is Computer who finds the first pick onto Jose, and now the University of Toronto with a slight advantage here, as She Was My Rock is now jumping into the University of Toronto backline. Bearfu does go back to try and chase it down, and Computer does get the finishing blow, and now Toronto has the numbers to try and close out this this second point here with 30 seconds to go. Oh well does manage to find a pick onto Cher, but Turkboy does find himself in a little bit of trouble. The Emrays are traded out. Bochi does use the Captive Sun. Computer O matches. There's going to be a bit of a dogfight here in the sky, and Computer O does get the better of Bochi, landing some mid-air shots to win that duel. And She Was My Rock is 95% to the Primal Rage here. Let's see if he manages to get it, or he manages to jump out to safety.
99.
And he does have it ready for a recontest, so if he chooses to use it, he's going to jump back. Bearfu does manage to get the clear out the cart, and She Was My Rock does unfortunately leave the point with the Primal Rage. And now University of Toronto with about a minute to go to try and finish out this map and tie it up.
Yeah, I mean, when McMahon died, I think deciding to commit the Primal became really bad, because you've no longer a person that can touch cart. and you're just gonna have your squishies run on the cart if you jump off with Primal, which you should be doing if you have Primal. So like once McMahon died, it was kind of over for Sask on the defense there.
Yeah. I think, yeah, crucially, Barefoot does have the Primal Rage ready to go. Let's see if he can manage to kill something. Oh, he manages to find, just sort of lure them in a corner. He finds 2 with the Primal. Is it 3? He manages to jump onto the Emerald. That is 3 kills for Barefoot. This is, as some would say, Winston School. U of T is Winston School, as some would say. And now they have 30 seconds ready, 30 seconds left in the time bank to try and close out the map. She Was My Rock dies late on the Winston. OL does have the advantage on the Kitsune rush here. I think they're just going to go quick here and try to close it out. Turkboy drops the ultimate. Solus has the ultimate. They're going to finish out the map with about 10 seconds to go. Cher doesn't manage to get onto the point, and yeah, a key pick there onto the front line of USask gives them the opportunity to close out the map. Now it's 3-3 with a time back advantage to USask, University of Saskatchewan, however.
A juicy Primal there from Barefoot, forcing a lot of cooldowns. He has to regroup for a sec, and then on the re-engage, absolutely decimating Hop, bouncing on him in true Winston fashion. Really inspirational there. USask kind of did the same thing that got them killed on third, or got Toronto killed on third, which was staggering. Not a clear fight at the end there. The quote-unquote final fight was just a series of people getting picked off.
Exactly. They managed to, I think, on the side of U of T, they obviously managed to isolate the targets. They see opportunities where people are caught out. They aren't quite ready for the. I think losing that overtime fight and investing resources into that second point capture, did kind of put USask on the back foot there. They weren't quite ready for the first corner on. They weren't quite ready for the first corner on third, and that just snowballed. And here we see U of T on the offense once again. Let's see if Solus can find an early pick on this Widowmaker here. Ooh, just manages to clip the body of Jose, but he will survive.
Now we see She Was My Rock taking off some time, but that's both Winston cooldowns used, so now the swing should be pretty doable for USask. And
OL does get caught out though. OL does get caught out, and Barefoot is jumping back to safety. She Was My Rock is going to try to get some damage here, but does drop a little bit low and jumps out. There's 20 seconds to go here for the side of University of Toronto. They are a little bit surrounded here on this low ground. Barefoot does manages to jump up to high ground to contest this, but his backline is also dealing with a bit of a Winston problem here. Solus does manage to win the Tracer duel here, and that's going to give them a little bit more space to work with. She Was My Rock drops onto the point, jumps away just to get a little bit of ultimate charge there, and now it's overtime, and now University of Toronto has to stay on the cart. She Was My Rock is going to jump down to try and look for a couple kills here. Cher does manage to trade out the enemy Emre, and the ultimates aren't coming online for University of Toronto just yet. It's going to take some heroics. Solus does go down. Computer does go down, and Barefoot goes down. It looks like University of Toronto has a very huge uphill battle here. 3 minutes on the clock to try and stop USask from getting under the bridge. This is going to be a very tough matchup here for U of T. Let's see how they choose to try and stall it out.
Yeah, I mean, contrary to their first push on that corner, they weren't really able to blow up She Was My Rock, like on height and force them off. And it became really hard for University of Toronto to get any kind of like good pressure because they just couldn't contest the high ground. Barefoot committing cooldowns to try and force out Cher on the Emery, managed to get Emery to back up for a couple seconds, but then Emery's still shooting the same people as before. So it was just impossibly hard, I guess, for U of T there to try and get through that first point because they were unable to like make the rotation to contest high ground in overtime.
Yep, I think that they gave that the play there to stall out on the side of She Was My Rock was played rather well there. You know, Barefoot does trying to jump onto the high ground to contest the high ground, and She Was My Rock just being a little bit annoying, taking damage, but ultimately denying the Toronto backline from helping Barefoot on the high ground, just giving a little bit of extra time. So he has to jump out to safety, unfortunately, for Toronto. And now, let's see how Toronto chooses to defend this.
Yeah, like they're gonna try and replicate. Oh, but She's My Walk already finds the Alari pylon, which is very big, because it's gonna be really hard to look. The help Tracer rotate, and
Barefoot is so low. Barefoot is so low, but manages to jump just out to safety.
Ooh.
The cart is still rolling here on the side of the University of Saskatchewan. She Was My Rock jumps onto the back line here. Let's see if he can find any substantial damage here. They are just meters away from taking this map away from Toronto here. And however, She Was My Rock does drop quite low. He manages to get himself back up to health there.
Oh,
She Was My Rock does manage to find Solace. That is a huge pick. And now Barefoot is just trying to stall and survive, waiting for reinforcements to come back, trying to keep himself healthy enough to stall out this cart. But he's just going to keep jumping and jumping and jumping. He jumps just a little too high. He jumps a little bit too high to try and keep himself healthy there. And USAS ties the series 1-1 on Winston.
yeah. I mean, I would say in terms of overtime, besides like the huge time bank difference, obviously, a difference I noticed in how it started was that Rock was like positioned up a bit further than Barefoot was for longer. And so because of that, it was harder for Toronto to quite like walk out or round the corner. And they weren't really able, because like as another result of that, to have a proper contest for height. Whereas on the side of Sask, they managed to clear Barefoot from there. Then they rotated the height, managed to clear him a bit there, got cart pushed up. And then it just became like a deadlock on point until inevitably somebody died, and it happened to be Solus. And then the team that loses their Tracer in that scenario, I think, is pretty cooked. And unfortunately, Barefoot jumped a bit too high, like you're saying, trying to slow down.
Yeah, losing your Tracer means you lose that ability to tag on and off the point. Barefoot just vertical jump, try to live a little longer in the sky. Obviously, take a little bit less damage when you're not exactly just standing there on point. Just trying to live a little bit longer, just to try and wait for the reinforcements. Try to keep your head above water, but maybe flew just a little bit too close to the sun, and they managed to take away the series.
Yeah, like
not the series, the map. Sorry.
The map.
Getting ahead of myself
the
there.
Series.
Evening up the series.
So yeah, we got a 1-1 here. This could go all the way, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry, go on.
Oh yeah, no. On the side of the University of Saskatchewan, they managed to isolate the backline very well. They jumped onto the backline. They find OL. They catch OL on rotations. They catch him out on his own. They find those opportunities very well. They're very observant of that, and they manage just to capitalize and keep the pressure on, win those first picks, win those trades, and now it's up to the University of Toronto to pick their maps. Let's see what they go with.
Hey, classic. That's a classic right there. We got Servasa again. We're gonna have it every game in this tournament. Okay, every flashpoint's gonna be Servasa, probably. It's just every team loves it. It's balanced. It feels good, and we see Toronto being like, yeah, we're gonna take it too. Honestly, I think if Sask lost the last map, they would have taken Servasa as well.
Yeah.
So, what do we expect to see from a Servasa? You might be asking. What do you think, Andrew?
I think that I personally am going to put out the idea of a hazard here.
Oh.
I think we could see that. It's not that Winston doesn't work here, but I think that hazard is strong. I think hazard is strong on Flashpoint. Hazard is strong on Servasa. And we're gonna see, and then we're gonna see how they elect to use the ban system here. Ultimately,
yeah, I'm really interested.
Yeah, I think if you're Toronto, I'm not quite sure what bans you could be looking for here? What do you think?
Okay, Toronto ban. I mean, if you're saying like if they really want to go Hazard, maybe a Diva ban, or maybe they ban Zar just so the other team doesn't play a brawler, you know, Zar, Reaper, whatever, on Servasa, which is pretty viable.
Yeah.
I don't know if Toronto's necessarily afraid of a specific tank pick though, so maybe they won't look for a tank ban, but instead maybe they'll ban a Reaper. That's.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't really see like a ban. Like I think Toronto can play whatever. I think both these teams are like so like similar in terms of like level and like capability to play different things. I don't really see. Oh, maybe like a Bastion or Cat, whatever they haven't banned yet, just in case.
Yeah.
But
Looks
I
like
don't know.
the University of Toronto has chosen their first ban. They're banning Alari.
Okay.
I think that makes sense. I think that it gives Computer the opportunity to play characters that maybe he's. I think that, you know, obviously we saw Computer try to go comfort on Ana on certain parts of the map there on Dorado. So I think just taking away the Ilari on the enemy side just makes a lot of sense. Maybe it gives the flex support, the flex support role a little bit more leeway there for the side of Computer. I will remind the audience that we did go for Winston ban. Fascinating. We are going to see a Winston ban taking Bearfu away from his signature Winston. I think that Toronto still has plenty of answers to this. They could play the Hazard, as I mentioned. I think they could also play Orisa. We saw Bearfu try the Orisa initially until he saw the Zarya. So I think that despite losing the Winston, Toronto has options.
Yeah, maybe the Winston ban is because they do want to try the Zarya comp. Like, it's really interesting. I did not expect to see a Winston ban for Saravasa. I think Ilari is also like, yeah, it's valid because they don't want to play against, you know, Ilari off angling. I don't think the Toronto backline necessarily wants to play Ilari. I don't think that they can't. I just don't think they really want to.
Yeah.
So by taking it away, they don't have to worry about that because like I think Ilari was like a little bit better than the Ana was on the last map. In terms of just like comp wise, so solid ban. And yeah, maybe they will play Hazard with Winston ban just to keep up a similar style because I imagine it's gonna be like what Kiri Lucio Mir and then Haz and Orisa. Maybe just oh my goodness, Zar Mauga.
Interesting. Yes. Okay. I think there may have been a call. I personally expected Bearfu to use the Orisa or the Hazard there, but I think that given that they have seen a Zarya come out on the from the side of this Saskatchewan, playing the Zarya here makes total sense. Works just as well, and we'll see that. Okay, we'll see both teams coming out with a TP here as
oh my goodness,
see Mauga engage.
Bap, Kiri, Farah, Emery, Mauga. What is this on my screen?
Okay, we see Mauga. Okay, we see Mickman back onto the. We see Mickman back onto this Farah here, as he does take a small hit there, but he manages to get back to taking heal back up. The Bearfu and the University of Toronto seem to be managing to make their way, onto the point first, but Solus does manage to get picked first. Turkboy does trade it back. Oh well, does manage to get Nobochi there. But she was my rock does kill Computer. Oh, so it is a fairly even fight right now in terms of numbers, but USASK has the position and has the point.
Yeah, can you smell what USASK has been cooking? Because this is kind of crazy. I like Cher going for a hero play, managing to get the trade. The two flex supports getting traded out after 2, but the point presence for USASK is huge with their comp because like it's gonna be really hard for them to move on top of people against the Lucio, which they've managed to secure this original point. It's now like D-Day beach for U of T to walk into. Like this is crazy high grounds and just damage being like thrown at them.
Yeah, if you're the side of the University of Toronto here, you probably want to just go fast, but you do lose the Lucio.
Where did he go?
Lucio does get hit by the what's it called? The M-Ray grenade there, and it looks like it's going to be first point going the way of the University of Saskatchewan, as the University of Toronto is going to respawn and rethink how they want to approach this fight.
Yeah, honestly, well played to Sask. That beautiful kills there. It became possible to recontest. And Toronto, I think, you kind of have to, if you're Toronto, think about your comp a little bit. Maybe you want a little bit more burst damage for flex DPS instead of Genji. I know Solus, you know, favorite hero Genji, but maybe Reaper a little bit better against the Mauga to help relieve your Czar and give more like telegraphed engages. I don't know. It just seems really hard for Toronto right now.
Yeah, if you want to win on this team comp, you got to go first and go fast. Unfortunately, Cher hits first, and Computero does go down holding an ultimate. So I think that unless they can get a hero pick here, they're going to have to back out. McMahon does manage to take the other support down, so the University of Toronto is currently healerless, and they're going to probably have to give their life a little bit here. And they're going to surrender first point capture, but the University of Toronto is going to come into this fight with essentially 5 ultimates, whereas USask has 4, so it is actually still fairly even. Okay, we see that the University of Toronto is going to move their way forward here. Oh, but Cher again with another first pick, I think.
Oh, grab, cleanse, ammo, it's everywhere.
Okay, so Solus does use his ultimate there. Bearfu does also, Bearfu uses the ultimate, and Solus manages to go through, find a couple of kills, but it doesn't manage to, the fight doesn't manage to go their way despite those picks there. I think Cher is really doing incredibly well to find these first picks, trying to win the fight before the fight happens. Bearfu is now swapping over to the D.Va.
I like the D.Va swap. I think it's better than what was going on. Oh,
Wow.
but huge kills from Toronto. The Turk boy doing enough, doing more than enough, maybe even.
Yeah, I think Turk boy and the University of Toronto snipes Cher out of the sky using the ultimate, and they manage to get some percentage onto the point. 99-0 and counting. So now the University of Toronto has the dry Genji Blade as their only ultimate ready to go, while the University of Saskatchewan has the Farah Barrage and, crucially, I think, Jose's ultimate. Let's see, Solus does rip the ultimate first, tries to get an early pick here.
Ooh.
He manages to find one, just about 2. Jose manages to answer back with Turk Boy, but that's 3 kills for 1. And now it looks like we have a lonely Mauga on the point, as if the University of Toronto holds up correctly here, that's going to be point capture for them.
Oh, okay. The Tracer should get the touch. Well, wait.
No, with cooldowns forced out early, yeah. I think the University of Toronto, good heads up play to just find the Tracer, find the early hold. The early forward hold to try and, force them to use cooldowns to try and get past them, and ultimately they don't get a touch. And yeah, now it's clean up on the side of the University of Toronto as they managed to get another teamfight win just before the point unlocks here. And it looks like She Was My Rock is reconsidering the tank pick. Yes, goes Orisa. And it looks like the Mauga has had his fun. And now we're going to move over to the next point here on Surabasa.
Yeah, I think I like the swaps here. I think it's getting, like, the D.Va swap is Thanos right now, and especially into their comp. So huge swap for Sask here, getting off of the Mauga and, sticking Trey.
Yeah. Oh, the Bochi does manage to find Solus, but Bearfu answers back with a kill on the Bochi, and Computero manages to find Cher. McMahon does manage to trade back with onto Turk Boy there, so it is technically even on terms of numbers, but as you may have noticed, the University of Toronto has managed to find first point capture here. Computero does go down to a accurate spear from on the side of She Was My Rock, but looks like they're going to find She Was My Rock and a TP onto Jose. Jose's TP does not come in time, but he manages to go down. Bearfu does die, But Turk Boy manages to trade out. Finally manages to trade out. There, but Cher is still using his ultimate there. Manages to find Solus, and they start counting down, counting up the percentage on this third point on Cervasa.
I mean, huge play there. Barefoot dying with remake, just swung that whole thing altogether. Because Emery's ult is now real, and they managed to get a few picks and continue to rack up this point percentage here. And now we're seeing the overclock invested from Turk.
Yeah. We see, yeah, Turk Boy survive the Orisa ultimate there. He manages to slide his way out. Does he manages to find the Lucio? Yes, Solus manages to help with the Lucio kill there, and looks like they're going to finally get percentage back on the board here, but USAS just about manages to get to 99%. So now UFT has to win the next fight or two to try and close out this fountain point here.
Yeah, we're looking at realistically last fight here. Kitsune beat in like 4 seconds, so I think
OL needs to just get ult, or computer needs to get ult and just rip it. Try and win the fight as early as possible here. Yeah, as called, Computer O is going to rip the ultimate as soon as he gets it, and they're going to be shoved off the point here. Just manages to get onto the point for an overtime touch, but She Was My Rock gives his life for it. Cher is now trying to get a pick from the backline, but I don't think it's enough. U of T does manage to take away this third point here, and they are match point here on Cervasa.
Yeah, honestly, crazy past couple of points. Super back and forth. That point was just UFT having more ults sooner.
Yes.
I think when you take Tracer versus Genji, the only thing that I would trade out in this mirror is that, I mean, Pulse is worse than Blade, which might be crazy to say, but I feel like an ult fight.
Solus does go down to McMahon on the Vendetta here, and Yusetsuki is investing the beat. OL does respond. Let's see who comes out on top. Let's see, UFT is deciding to engage hard on this 4v5. Turk Boy does manage to answer back onto a kill with Cher. A kill onto Cher. Does he manage to get one more? Does he find the Lucio? Not quite. McMahon manages to peel Turk Boy off of his backline. And She Was My Rock is going to clear University of Toronto off the point here. Both two ultimates used for both teams, and University of Saskatchewan comes out on top.
Yeah, the late Kitsune investment really paid dividends there. Also, did Cher use... Was Cher killed mid-Emery ult? Yes, right?
Yes, he was killed by Turk Boy. Yes, but...
yeah, so 3 for 2.
Yeah. Okay, now the University of Toronto is making their way back onto the point here. Here we're seeing She Was My Rock potentially think about investing the ultimate, but Solus finds the pick onto McMahon first. So he has a bit of second thoughts, but oh dear, here finds one, likely finds... Yeah, he's going to likely find more. Jose kills Solus, and now the University of Toronto is going to have to be forced off the point here. I don't know if they get a good touch. Barefoot is... It's going to be rushed. It's going to be rushed. They do have support ultimates ready to go, though. So, the University of Toronto does manage to roll onto point here. Computer O has the Kitsune Rush ready to go. And there is the beat to respond. McMahon does have the ultimate. But Barefoot does die after using the bomb there, but She Was My Rock is traded out, and McMahon does go down. Looks like the University of Toronto is going to manage to find their way onto this point here, as they have managed to get to USASC after they get 99%, and now they have both DPS ultimates ready to go for the next fight. Barefoot is now onto Zarya, potentially an answer for the Orisa here.
Yeah, and McMahon swapping to Pharah, so both teams making a swap here on what could be our last point on this map.
Yeah.
Soj, Genji, that's a fight win. They gotta go fast if you're USAS. You can't be waiting. You can't make this.
Cher is
one
going
fight.
to use the ultimate. He gets sliced out of the sky by Solus, but the Bochi does manage to trade it right back. She Was My Rock does not survive the onslaught of DPS ultimates, and it looks like the University of Toronto is going to survive here. And maybe an aggressive, looks like an aggressive hold here, or looking for some extra picks here on the side of U Toronto would seal the deal. But She Was My Rock is back on the Doomfist to try and get a good overtime fight here going. Jose crucially has the Kitsune Rush ready to go. There are no support ultimates on the side of U of T. Jose drops the ultimate. The punch goes wide just a bit, and Turkboy manages to snipe McMahon out of the sky. Barefoot falls off the map! She Was My Rock punches Barefoot off the map. Computer is there to follow. Solus is going to try and find a pick here onto Cher, but Cher hits back. It is now 2-2 on Suravasa here, and now we go to our final submap here on Suravasa.
What a crazy turn of events. Barefoot stopping back onto the Diva. So well played by Sask with Rock staggering, his touches. And then they farm up the Kitsune, commit the Kitsune, and even though it looks lost because Nickman gets picked first, they manage to find the kills, get Barefoot off the map, and win out on that overtime recontest.
All right, well done there from the side of USAS to keep themselves alive in this map. Barefoot is back on the Diva. And looks like McMahon just completely annihilates Turkboy from a distance. And yeah, despite that, it looks like both teams are going to invest their beats. It looks like a later beat from the side of USAS gives them the opportunity to push forward. But Cher is going to drop just a little bit low. But he manages to survive, and McMahon manages to clean up. And USAS is going to find the first capture here on the final submap of Suravasa. McMahon has the ultimate. Cher has the ultimate. She Was My Rock has the ultimate. On the side of the University of Toronto, it's looking like just Computero and maybe Turkboy with the ultimates.
Yeah, I mean, USAS is in a phenomenal position here. Better ult economy for this point. They're trying to make this 2-5.
Oh, McMahon took fire with the beat though. They're going to restabilize, and Barefoot is going to find the kill onto the Lucio here. She Was My Rock invests
the Doom ult.
The Doom ult, he does go wide. I think he's just going to go for a fast reset.
Oh, maybe swap. Maybe swap.
Yeah. Yes, he's going to just go for the swap and the reset. Wow, fantastic play there from U of T. You came away from that with all your ultimates. USAS is vested too and did not win the team fight. You are incredibly happy with that if you're at the University of Toronto. Let's see how McMahon is now back onto this Vendetta, just swapping back and forth for the better opportunity. I think that the University of Toronto, given the advantage here, is going to hit first. She Was My Rock finds the pick onto OL, but
the trade.
She Was My Rock finds two. It is an even fight in terms of the numbers, but there is certainly more ultimates online if the University of Toronto chooses to use them. She Was My Rock is going to likely drop here, and the point is still in possession of Toronto. It is final fight territory. There is a Kitsune Rush on both sides. There is a bomb and a Dragon Blade on the side of Toronto, which is going to be ripped immediately. There goes the Lucio, and there goes the map. U of T is now match point after winning a very, very close Suravasa.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit tragic if you're a Sask fan. They had a perfect position, and I don't know why they decided to take the fight in the room against the Diva with Barrage. You could have waited for them to walk out and then look for Barrage from top down on the choke, but instead you guys opted to, fight in the close space, which was a blessing for U of T. That swings around the ult economy, giving U of T advantage, and then U of T just using their ultimates only when necessary. Beautiful thing to see from them. Even though it looked close, the fight before last, Barefoot always had bomb, Solus always had Genji Blade. If needed, they could have just used the ults in a longer fight and they still probably would have come out on top. Yeah. So very unfortunate for Sask, and very well played to University of Toronto.
Yeah, University of Toronto capitalizes on a slightly misguided play there on the side of the Pharah, and they eventually surrender the point with using 2 ultimates, and I think that was what sealed the deal for them, unfortunately. And you maybe want to have taken that back, as you said. So well played there from Toronto. They are now match point, and USASC now has to answer back. Let's see what they. I'm looking forward to see where they choose to take us. They have.
I mean, this is a toughie. This is a toughie. So
this is going to be a hybrid map. We have Blizzard World, Numbani, Kings Row.
maybe Kings, because I don't know if you really want Blizz World or a Numbani where it's like Winston, even though like you guys did win on Winston.
They did win the Winston. They won the Winston map. To be entirely fair to the Saskatchewan side, they could totally take the duel against Barefu Winston again and win it maybe, and take it to a map 5. I could totally see that happening, given that the success they had on the second map there. So anything's on the table. Kings Row, I think, is Kings Row. It's hard to say how they'd play it, because you can still play, I want to say, any kind of comp. You can still play dive.
Yeah.
You can have success on Winston, especially on that third point. So if you are back to, but especially on the first and second point, you can still play dive. So I think that I was going to say that looks like this is going to be just a dive matchup no matter where we go. Maybe not Kings Row, but still possible.
Maybe. I mean, like we saw last map, both teams went through like every style. At least the tanks did. We saw Orisa, Zarya, D.Va, Doomfist, like Maug. Like everything was being thrown around. So I guess we won't really know until we see what each team walks out with, because I feel like both teams' tanks are super willing to do like whatever they need to get the W.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think we saw in that last map, we saw lots of like back and forth. You had McMahon on the Pharah, and then on the Vendetta, and then on the Pharah, just going back and forth, trying to find that edge, just trying to find where they can go to get a little bit of an extra advantage there. And then on the side of Toronto, you saw that, I think, with Barefu, where he goes D.Va, and he goes Orisa, and he goes just swapping back and forth based on what the situation calls for it. So yes, there's been a lot of key swaps going, and let's see where the University of Saskatchewan chooses to go. They are going to Blizzard World. They are going to Blizzard World. I think, yes, they're trusting that they're better on Winston.
Interesting, a Blizzard World pick.
Yeah, that is my prediction. Watch them ban Winston. No, I don't think. Can they? No, they can't.
Yeah, no, the Jetpack Cat Bastion. This is where it comes in at last. Yeah. This is the opportunity. For
the
sure.
University of Saskatchewan.
Oh, wait, hold. It might be the D.Va ban. Stay
the
with
University of Toronto still. Yeah, the University of Toronto. Yes, I was going to say still has the cat available. I'm surprised that now that they're match point, they didn't protect ban a support here.
Yeah, I forgot. I thought they used the cat ban before.
No, they had not used the cat ban yet. So the U of T, I think, very telegraphed play there from the University of Saskatchewan banning the D.Va. And I think they catch wind, and they realize that the support ban is available to them, and they've just banned the cat out.
Yeah, I mean, big ban for them. I really do think SAS is going to play Bastion Cat on this, especially with the D.Va ban. That's like the harbinger, you know, or the herald or whatever, like the warning. Like the D.Va ban is when you know that the Cat Bastion is going to come out, but now it can't. So who knows?
Yeah. I think if you are the side of the University of Saskatchewan, if you want to show what they want to see, they've got to win this map without it. It is match point for the side of the University of Toronto. It is do or die here for the side of Saskatchewan. Let's see how they do it. We have University of Saskatchewan's offense here first, and let's see what University of Toronto flashes for their first hold. on
Oh,
Blizzard World.
The money hit my account. I'm going hog. Nice. We got some banter. For legal reasons, that is a joke. But it wasn't a joke because I'm the one who sent the money. We're getting hog here, folks. You're welcome.
Oh dear, do we have a biased caster here, ladies and gentlemen? I'm not quite sure.
The bias is for good Overwatch, am I right?
Okay. Nothing wrong with a little match fixing. Barefoot is going to play the Orisa here. I was wrong, in fact. They're going to be playing Orisa here on this first hold. And, she was my rock, is going to be flashing the... Let's see if he stays on the Wrecking Ball. Yes, he does.
Okay, we're probably gonna see Tracer. Yeah, those Tracer swaps. So they definitely were gonna roll on Bastion, I think, if their intention was a ball comp here. So good ban from Toronto, and now we see the Olari Kiri, which they've really been comfortable on, paired with Emery Tracer ball. Solid comp versus the Orisa front to back, also matching angles with Wu Yang versus Kiri. Yeah.
And it looks like McMahon is going to find the first pick here onto OVERWATCH. Let's see if they can continue that. They finished to completely clear out the Toronto backline, and they're going to slowly make their way onto the point here. And let's see if they manage to escape with their lives here. Yes, they do. They manage to survive just about. But let's see if we get a successful touch here. So this is going to go down. I don't think they do. Yes, they're just going to hold the first corner here.
Record speed, first point.
5.5 minutes to go to try to finish the second point here. Very good pace here for the side of the University of Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I mean, they cleared high ground and they managed to catch Wu Yang while they're at it. And now we see the Lucio swap. W swap. I think you can do what you were doing with Wu Yang a bit better. It's harder to kill Lucio where they did the Wu Yang there. So yeah. W swap from OL.
Yeah. W swap. Solus is now hiding in this room here, holding the pulse bomb as a threat. Let's see if he manages to find something here. Barefoot is going to use the Orisa ultimate to pull everyone into Solus's pulse bomb, and it manages to find a victim. And looks like despite Solus going down, Toronto will have their first successful hold here. And if you're the University of Toronto here, you're going to, McMahon's pulse bomb just goes slightly wide there. You do have a ultimate advantage slightly in the department of the supports. OVERWATCH does die. And Solus does answer back with a kill onto the front line here. So this is still, in terms of numbers, this is still even. Computero still has the opportunity to drop the Kitsune Rush, but Solus does unfortunately go down. Here, OVERWATCH is managing to race back to the point here, race back to the fight here. He has his beats almost ready to go. And Computero and OVERWATCH both have their ultimates ready. Turkboy manages to kill Jose. And I think that USask should responsibly here, and they will attempt to escape with their lives. We are seeing a pretty ultimate advantage here for the side of the University of Toronto. Solus does manage to get a pick without using any ultimates. They're going to just maintain this pace all the way through, and they're just going to continue backing out. Lots of ultimates coming online for both sides. She Was My Rock drops the bombs to try and separate the team. Successfully manages to get Barefoot dies despite the efforts of Computero's ultimate, and wow, holding onto 5 ultimates, the University of Toronto gives the first corner. And we see that we're just waiting for respawns here. OVERWATCH is going to wait to taxi everyone back, and now the University of Saskatchewan has the Kiriko ultimate ready while Computer used it earlier. Turkboy is going to get the Lucio beat to try to fight Cher with the ultimate. Cher does not manage to find anything. And Computero does manage to find Jose, but Bochi manages to get Turkboy, but looks like the numbers are going Toronto's way as OVERWATCH manages to find to clear the rest of the Saskatchewan backline. The ultimates on the side of the University of Toronto, the support ultimates are utilized. Jose still has both of the supports have an unmatched support ultimate ready to go. Should they choose to use it. There are 2 minutes remaining here on Blizzard World. Let's see if let's see how they choose to engage with these support ultimates. Bearfu and Solus both have their ultimates. They could try to repeat that combo, but the teams are playing rather split up, so maybe that is not entirely on the cards for them. Bochi's ultimate doesn't manage to find anything just quite, but Solus is taking a duel with the Tracer there, both holding onto their pulse bombs, looking for a target to go. Bearfu as holding down this high ground as Solus manages to find Bochi there, but She Was My Rock answers back there with a kill onto Turkboy. Bearfu is dropping just a little bit low here, but should be able to survive with a little bit of help. And he is going to stay on this cart here with the ultimate ready. There's a stick onto the wrecking ball there, but he manages to survive and drops the proximity mines onto the point there. Bearfu is now hiding in this room. He's going to drop the tier 2 perk, the Orisa Shield, onto the point to block off a little bit of damage, and he still has the ultimate ready to go. Computero has the ultimate ready to go. Oh well is almost to a beat. She Was My Rock does drop, and now it looks like the University of Toronto is going to come into this next fight with numbers and the time bank on their side and ultimates on their side. Cher and McMahon do almost have their ultimates, and She Was My Rock swaps onto the Mauga here, while OL dies 99% to the beat. Let's see if Toronto chooses to try to fight this back early quickly. Bearfu does get stuck. Is there a way for him to survive this? Turkboy does drop the ultimate in response to Cher's ultimate. Turkboy does manages to find the head of McMahon and manages to find more with Bochi, and it looks like the offense from the University of Saskatchewan is going to end here just before the second point capture. Okay. Yeah, I think a fantastic hold there. Despite losing control of first point there rather quickly on the side of University of Toronto, you stop them just before capturing second point. You maintain a good ultimate advantage going into last point there. You survive the ultimates, especially from the Alari ultimates from Bochi there, and you give yourself that ultimate advantage with some patience and some good positioning. And the University of Toronto has given themselves a win condition to take the series away. USask has to hold the point, has to stop them before that those final steps before second point to stay alive and take us to a game 5. Any Saskatchewan fans out there, please give your local team a little bit of extra support here as they try to stay alive in this series and this tournament this year. Looks like both teams are electing to go for an Orisa here, and Turkboy is going to look for a first pick here, a first grapple pick here. Let's see if he manages to find it.
Ooh,
Just goes wide.
Unfortunately, gets the other critical there. The Tracer swap very big, gonna help in clearing the right side high ground.
Yep, they now are all off high ground here. There is still a Farah in the sky to try and threaten that, threaten from a sort of high ground angle, but looks like the University of Toronto is going to be slowly able to win some positioning, take the indoors, take some safe space, and now, yep, Bearfu is now starting to threaten the corner of the point here.
Yeah, and honestly, USask is playing a very poke-heavy style versus UFT's.
Bochi goes down.
Yep, there it is. There's the pick. There's the pick.
Yep. Bochi goes down. Solus has managed to find the back line, but Cher does manage to trade it back. Turkboy does go down on the side of Toronto, and Barefoot does drop dangerously low and does go down. Successful first hold here on the side of never mind, actually. OWEL manages, and OWEL and Solus are still in the backline trying to keep this fight alive, and it looks like they're going to continue threatening this as Turkboy manages to come back. The reinforcements are starting to come back. Orisa is going to lag a little bit behind here, and yeah, looks like Toronto is just going to play this just a little bit safe while the full reinforcements come back to take the point. Yep, and now Barefoot is now on to the corner of the point there. Solus is holding on to a pulse bomb. Let's see if he manages to find the first pick again. Yep, he sticks the Orisa, but it is neutralized with the Orisa Fortify there. But
and maybe a cleanse too. I'm not sure.
And Solus does unfortunately go down for Toronto. And Computer does elect to invest the ultimate here, and the fruits of that are coming to fruition as Bochi goes down and Mickman goes down. She Was My Rock is going to elect to use the Orisa ultimate here. Gets Barefoot somehow. And She Was My Rock is going quite low. So it looks like despite that, they're going to get ticks and going to be able to capture the first point here on the side of Toronto. A little bit of an odd death there from Barefoot, but despite that, Toronto takes the point. They have 4 minutes to try and finish the map and finish the series.
Yeah, I mean, the first to Kitsune winning the point was really the story there. Kitsune getting so much value, forcing everybody out of position, and then enabling Toronto to pick up the stragglers. And now we see a fast overclock here.
Yeah, overclock is used early, and Bochi does answer back with the Captive Sun, which is tempted to be survived with OWEL's sound barrier, but unfortunately people die through it anyways, and looks like the University of Toronto just about gets past the first corner, but still not quite enough progress as you would have liked given the ultimate investments there.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, Sask is in a very holdable position. They have the first corner to ground them.
Yep. Solus is on the back line here. Solus is on the back line here, holding onto a pulse bomb. Let's see if he manages to stick it. Barefoot does have the ultimate ready to go. He does drop this pulse bomb, but it doesn't go his way, and Mickman does manage to get a kill. Mickman gets a second kill. He is going to use the barrage there. He manages to help take out Barefoot, but he gives his own life for it.
Honestly, crazy work from Barefoot there. You know, tracking the Pharah, javeling the Pharah to the sky to confirm the kill. And this opens up a fast fight here for Toronto because Pharah shouldn't be back.
Yeah, Solus is going to elect to swap onto the Genji here. He is finished up with the Tracer, and now Barefoot is going to walk on forward with the Kitsune Rush and his ultimate in his pocket. We have She Was My Rock using most of his cooldowns there. He uses both cooldowns to try and get in, and tries to get a kill with the ultimate, but doesn't quite manage to find anything. He does manages to find Solus there, and Barefoot does respond with the ultimate. Doesn't manage to find anything besides the turret there, and Cher manages to kill Computer, and looks like that's going to be a fight. That's going to be a wrap fight for Toronto as a small stagger comes out for Barefoot and Solus.
Yeah, honestly, really hectic fight. A lot of ults invested from Toronto. I'm honestly very surprised that Sask managed to hold on without needing to invest their own Kitsune.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured they would explode out with it, and they just didn't need to use it. And then results traded, and it's looking very holdable for Sask, honestly.
Yeah, they have both support ults ready in their pocket. They have four ultimates ready in their pocket, actually. Let's see if, given that everyone survives this first push here by Toronto, this should be in a pretty good spot here. Yeah, Mickman manages to find Turkboy. OWEL does use the ultimate here, try and keep the rest of his team alive, but let's see if they manage to trade it right back. Yeah, Mickman is going to be surviving, Vochi is going to be surviving after using their ultimates. The side of Toronto is rather ultimate dry right now. Computer does manage to get a pick onto Cher, but Mickman does trade it right back. if you are Computer, you'd rather stay alive in this fight, but the DPS line for Toronto, Solus, does manage to keep Toronto's hopes and dreams alive to finish the series here. Now Toronto has 4 ultimates ready to go, and Jose and USASK has 2, maybe 3. Jose is probably going to have to rip this ultimate fast and soon if they want to make it to the point. Just less than a meter ready to go. Kirkboy just rips the ultimate to try and get the to clear the point. And I think that might be it. Cher does manage to kill Computero, but Computero manages to get his ultimate out in time, and UFT
Oh my goodness.
closes out the series 3-1 and will proceed in this tournament. Congratulations to Toronto, and commiserations to USASK for a good run in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean that was crazy. Honestly, I think Cher got a bit too greedy dueling the Kiriko at that range. If Cher doesn't die, I'm pretty sure USASK just wins. Like they just win this map because Toronto has to win 2 fights. But because they trade, it opens up the gates, and then everything starts spiraling out of control for Sask. And then they have a really rough recontest where they got killed walking up. So yeah, I mean, shout out to Computer. Oh wow, for that one.
Yeah. So well done to Computero for those these picks. Well done to Toronto for managing to find picks where it's possible. I think I like the confidence of Solus going to the back line there, always looking for to apply pressure to the Saskatchewan back line. I cast my mind back to the first point engagement where they sort of, despite losing Bearfu, despite losing a couple members, just and Solus in the back line, 2 buddies just staying alive together, looking for trade, just keeping the pressure on, making sure that Saskatchewan, despite winning the fight in principle, they don't get a good hold. They don't get a good positioning. Not letting them get comfortable and unlocking that first point capture. Saskatchewan does manage to hold the second point for a decent amount of time there. They, of course, managed to hold the first point. They managed just to hold all the way on until basically overtime. On the second point there, with some really good, coming out on top in the alt economy at many times, surviving Mao's Solus's backline excursions, getting early picks. And so they do manage to keep themselves alive in this map for a very long time, but ultimately a couple of opportunities given, and University of Toronto takes those opportunities and closes out the series, and they advance in this bracket.
Which sends Sask to the 3rd place game as well.
Yes. So thank you all for watching these matches today. Please, before we let you guys go, we're going to show a couple of opportunities here which have helped support the stream you're watching today. So from our sponsors at BMO, to help you focus on what's important, BMO has checking and savings accounts, credit cards, and borrowing options specifically designed for students. Open a BMO student account and get up to $950 in value, including $175 cash with BMO's current student offers. Visit bmo.com/students for more details. BMO Next Level is a first-of-its-kind program dedicated to helping gamers level up in-game and IRL. Run by Sean Frame, BMO's gaming relations specialist, Sean brings a commitment to helping viewers achieve their financial goals and has a passion for gaming as an active member of the gaming community. Type !BMO or !BMO for Next Level for more details. And just to give you all another opportunity in terms of a giveaway that is happening at CIE this year from the sponsors at One of Zero. One of Zero has supplied CIE with 6 gaming mice that make you better at what you do. Type raffle, !raffle that is, in chat for a chance to win 1 of 6 gaming mice supplied by One of Zero. Code like a maniac, design like a guru, and game like an assassin. Take pride in your setup and look good while you achieve it all. Discover your inspiration, defy definition, be One of Zero. And to learn more, type !One of Zero in chat. Thank you all for for watching our broadcast here today. and we hope you look forward to seeing Toronto try to take. We see if Toronto can successfully take away the championship in this year, and we see if the University of Saskatchewan. We wish them good luck in the third place match coming up.
Yeah. Take care.
Thank you all.